Okay, live on the YouTube. So if you're watching live, we will be talking about, or I will be talking about the Apple iPhone Mini, or the Apple 12 Mini, sorry, Apple iPhone 12 Mini. I can't pronounce it right. Apple iPhone 12 Mini. It's bizarre this year with 4 variations. You know, there's so many different videos about the iPhone and they're all about a different phone. But yes, I picked this up yesterday. I got it delivered yesterday. So I thought we'd do a live stream, just talk about it, give you my initial thoughts on it. Not really used the phone that much at this point. I'm going to be playing around with it for a few days before I start installing my essential apps and all that kind of stuff. But yes, this stream will mostly be about the iPhone 12 mini. The reason I say mostly is because, this kind of stream will change depending on who turns up, who's going to comment and all that. So, yes. Looks like the stream's streaming okay. That's what I was checking there. People always like, what are you doing? Well, I'm checking that it's streaming okay because Apple's live streaming system can be a little bit temperamental sometimes. So, hey Ultra, good to see you. So, this is the bad boy here. This is it. Now, what I would say about this is I actually really like this case and the design of it in the white circle, but I'm probably going to send it back. So I've ordered 2 other cases. I wanted to see a comparison to see what I liked, but I think I want to send this one back to Apple mainly because of the bottom part not being protected. If I get that in focus, there. See how it's not protected? So that's one of the downsides. That's one of the downsides to that case, and it was not something that was really obvious when you picked it up. Kind of strange that they did that, considering how expensive it was. Interestingly, though, I did come across, and I'll share this just now. I did come across a really similar case, and I mean similar as in they copied it. Like someone out there has copied this. I suspect they'll get taken to court for this. But this one to me looks better. If only the new iPhones had Type-C. Yes, I would agree. I think I'm kind of puzzled that they never went to Type-C this year, Ultra, actually, if I'm honest about it, because they're kind of doing half steps. I mean, iPads, this is an older iPad. This is the iPad Pro from 2017, 2018. And this one uses a lightning connector. But like iPads since then have used Type-C, and there's MacBooks that use Type-C. So why do iPhones still have a lightning cable? And they've kind of went a half step because they've still got a Type-C in one side and they've got a lightning in the other. And actually in the Android world, it's normally a Type-A USB, like a regular USB port on the other side and then Type-C on that side. So it's kind of strange that, yeah, I don't know why Apple haven't went all the way in with Type-C yet. And that's why I thought their conference was a little bit hypocritical, if I can say the word correctly. I don't know if any of you guys saw the conference for the whole announcement for the iPhone 12, etc. But they made this big, massive deal about the fact that the box is smaller. They made a big deal about it, and they talked about, look, the box is smaller. This little box here is smaller, and it means that there's less waste. It's better for the environment and all that. But it just makes it easier for them to sell accessories. That's it, really, because it's some people still need headphones. People still need charging power adapters, if I can remember the word. So yeah, if they really cared about the environment, they should do what you said, Ultra, and switch to a Type-C connection, but they've not done that. But I think in general, a large part of Apple's business still relies on selling accessories. There's no doubt about it. They still rely, I don't know how much of it that is, but say they make, I don't even know what it is, say they make 100 billion from Apple iPhones. It's probably more, probably much more. But say they make 100 billion, maybe they make 20 billion from accessories, maybe. And, as soon as they, they start putting in a Type-C connection, maybe they'll start losing a percentage of that. I don't know. I've always thought that Apple products are kind of overpriced. I've always thought that the accessories are an absolute rip-off. But there's no denying their phones are good. The build quality is good. They're fast. They're just a little bit overpriced. But I would level that same criticism at a lot of companies now. I think Google Pixels fall into that category. Some Samsung phones fall into that category now. So it's not like Apple are the only company that are charging too much for phones. Yeah, they're certainly not the only company doing that. So what will I talk about first? We'll talk about the phone first of the case. Let's just talk about. Let's just show you the phone. Is there anything, like, for anyone watching, is there anything with this phone that you want to see? As far as me showing you it, what I would say right away. Come on, Face ID me. You can't see the secret code of death. I can't either, actually. It's not going in. Swipe to unlock. So that's the thing. Face ID seems to be a little bit... your passcode is required to enable Face ID. So, yeah, I've not... See if I can get this. There we go. Not had it. I get that with Android phones sometimes as well. You have to reset before, the fingerprint is accepted, etc. So I still need to change a lot of things with this as far as the when the security ID and when the screen goes off and etc. I normally make the screen go off after like 10-15 minutes or something, because I hate the fact it just disappears and you need to log in, etc. Are you swapping out your Poco out for the iPhone 12 mini? No, I've got both of them here. I think at this point I'm going to continue using this and continue using that, the iPhone and the Poco. The thing is, which do I use? The kind of problem that I have is that I don't know how you're supposed to switch between phones. If you watch a lot of YouTubers, you'll see a lot of them saying that I'll use this phone today and I'll use that phone today. But taking the case of putting the SIM card in and out every single day sounds like a real pain in the ass. I wish there was a way. I don't know if you guys know of this, but is there a way to have multiple SIM cards for the same number? I don't think that's possible. I don't know of any service that does any kind of forwarding thing, but I would ideally just to wake up one day and go, I'll take this phone today, or I'll take that phone today, without having to switch the SIM card over and all that. But you can sync most things as far as apps and all that goes. WhatsApp can only go on one phone, which isn't a huge problem, I guess. But I will definitely still be using this about the house just for browsing and doing different things. But when I move all my apps to there and my phone and that there, I'll probably gravitate to using this more. I think it's good for me to have a phone in each ecosystem anyway, just from a testing point of view, and familiarise myself with what's going on and all that as well. Have you tried it yourself, Mr. Switch? Have you tried any of the iPhone 12s? The one thing, the main reason I bought this for was Face ID. Yeah, it's unlocked. The main reason I bought this was for the cameras, if I'm honest. I think the cameras look, if I can get it here, the cameras look really good. Cameras look really good, but I've not actually experimented with it. I did one video yesterday and I deleted it because I was like just playing around with it. The cameras do look good though, but it's not until I go outside and I test it outside that I'll see what this is like. For me, that, as I've said many times, the front camera is what's most important, which is why I like the idea of the small version. Not tried an iPhone since iPhone 7. I think my previous iPhone was an iPhone 4 before I got this, so it was about 10 years or so. I do like the size. I do like this size, and I think this is marginally bigger than the old iPhone 4 and 5S, etc. But it's not much bigger. It really isn't much bigger. Not the biggest fan of the iPhone 12 mini. I think the biggest concern for me with this phone, I wasn't concerned about the fact it didn't have a telephoto lens. The biggest concern I had was battery life. And, there's still a question mark on that. Right now, I've not really been using it. I've just, and standby time is pretty good with iPhones, to be fair. I've not been using it, but when I start transferring, WhatsApp over and start using it every day, I'll start to see what battery life is like, and maybe my opinion of this phone will change. Battery life, I would put that up there with the most important thing with any phone, and it's still weird that a lot of companies don't make that a priority. Was that, Mr. Switch, was that an SE from this year, the 2020 version? So I was very close to buying the SE this year because it had the same, was it A13 Bionic chip from last year. I liked the smaller size and all that, and I thought this is a great second phone for me, or just a smaller phone to use. I was going to buy that because I really did like the original iPhone SE, but I was put off by the fact it didn't have night mode. So whilst it did have the same CPU and performance and all that, they kind of purposely removed a few features from it. This is a little bit different in that respect, in that it's pretty much just the same as an iPhone 12. Obviously, there's some differences between this one and the Pro and the Pro Max, but you've got the same CPU, you've got the same front camera system and all that. But the SE 2020 or the SE2, etc., I thought it looked really good, but the lack of a night mode and the price kind of put me off. The reason I'm saying that is, if I switch over to the browser, the iPhone SE is undoubtedly a nice phone. I really do like it. I've seen it in shops, I've picked it up, I thought it looked great. But when you look at the options here, so say I'll go for a funky red, 128 gigabytes, that's £450, right? And personally, at that price, I would rather pay like another 200 or so and get the iPhone 12 mini. Or at the time, what I said was get the iPhone 11. So the iPhone 11 here, I don't know if they've dropped the price. You'll know, Mr. Switch, they've dropped the price of this by a huge amount in Hot UK deals, but you can see £600 there for the iPhone 11. I would say that is the better buy, really, for an extra 100 or so, because it's not that much bigger. 4.7-inch phone for 400 to 500 in 2020 is too overpriced. The screen to body ratio is awful. I'll go back to that. Yeah, I mean, that's certainly, if you look at, if I can get this over here, if you look at this one, you've obviously got the notch at the top here. And I know a lot of people don't like notches, but really this part at the top is the only part of, the screen that's kind of missing as far as the, look, I hate that, just stay on for a second. Face ID. The notch at the top is really the only really bezel around this, around the screen. You've just got a small black line, but this is obviously an all-screen display because this has got the pop-up camera, and because of that, this has got the whole screen. I honestly don't mind the notch, but you're right, Ultra. The screen-to-body ratio with the iPhone SE is a little bit different because you've got the bezels here at the top, here and at the bottom. I don't know. Mr. Switch, yeah, good price, £550 at Curry's eBay, for example. So yeah, the iPhone 11 is a really good price just now. There's a good argument for going for that as well, by the way. If you don't want to push another 200 to buy one of the iPhone 12s, or certainly if you want a 6-inch phone, and the iPhone 12 is obviously retailing at, was it 800? What is it, 850? 850 and 900 or something, or 800, 850. There is a good argument for spending 300 less and getting an iPhone 11. There's a very good argument, and I think that's a good deal. If you're looking for a bargain, I would really push for the iPhone 11 rather than the SE at this point. Just because the SE was great in many areas, but the battery life is a huge concern. The battery life is terrible, and the lack of a night mode and some other things as well. So I don't know. But if there's anything you'd like to know about this phone, let me know. But what I will say, and I covered this in the video as well, but I'll kind of go over what I said in the unboxing for anyone who didn't watch that video. I reckon the iPhone 11 is now a fantastic buy. Yes, I agree. What I would say, so there's the iPhone 12 mini box. In the box, you get the phone and you get the cable. Now, I pointed this out in my video, but it is worth pointing out again. If you buy any of the iPhones, you get an official cable, which is about 1 meter, and I know that because my desk is 1.6 and it gets to about 60% of the way there or something like that, or 70%. This cable's really bad, by the way. It really is. And I know that you shouldn't expect much from a provided cable when you buy a phone. I know you shouldn't, but I've had other cables before that are much better. And, you know, I've got braided cables, I've got these thick cables. This is cheap. This is a really cheap and nasty cable. This is not going to last a long time. You can tell at the end, this is going to break. This, without a doubt, if this lasts a year, I'll be very surprised. And Apple charges a ridiculous amount for these cables. The fact they've taken out the power adapter and they've taken out the headphones and left you with one cable, I really think they should have put in a better cable. They really do need to improve that. Yeah, I agree. You've put it better than I could have, Ultra. They're not nice. They're not good cables. So Apple are a little bit stingy with that. So the official case, kind of the same story. This is the iPhone 12 mini clear case, and this is it on the phone. So this is the case, and I quite like it. I know a lot of people won't like this. I know they might think the circle looks stupid and all that, but I do quite like it. And the magnetism is not great on this when you've got like a regular dashboard. You know, you can see it's because this is designed for MagSafe that, you know, it's designed for a larger magnet. I do like the case though, but I'm probably going to return it because of the bottom. So you can see there. To me, for a case that costs £49, I don't want the bottom of the phone exposed. Now, the interesting thing is that I've saw a copycat already. I saw a copycat, and I saw this one on Elixir. Look at this one. Elixir 12 mini MagSafe compatible case. So they have just copied it. But they've actually improved it. Because if you look at it here, you can see that the bottom is covered. The bottom of the phone is covered, which, you know, add in the fact this is £20 instead of £50, that to me instantly is a better case. It's a better case. Ultimately, as good as it is to have a MagSafe friendly, you know, magnet at the back, a case still has to be a case. That's the thing. A case still has to be a case, and the purpose of a case is to protect the phone. Now, I made that mistake with the Poco F2 Pro, where I didn't put, you know, this case, in its defense, this case didn't have anything at the top because of the pop-out camera, but look at how scratched this is. Can I get it in focus? See how scratched that is? Now, this was quite a cheap phone, and I didn't care about scratching it, if I'm honest. But with an iPhone, you really want to hold the value of an iPhone because you can justify buying an iPhone because of the resale price. These things always sell. Doesn't matter if it's one generation or 2 generations behind. But if you scratch it, it's going to be a lot harder to sell it, or you're going to have to lose a little bit of money. So I'm all for cases at, you know, being MagSafe friendly. It should be a priority, but it still has to be a case. And a case, fundamentally, the reason you're making your phone bigger and less user friendly and making the buttons less responsive is because you're trying to protect the phone. So that's not protecting the phone. £49. I'm going to return it. So I've ordered 2 other cases, one from Spygate and one from Caseology. I'm going to see how I got on with those, but I might try a different one in the future. I'm just going to experiment and just see what's out there. I've really not tried it too much at this point though, as far as testing the phone. Come on, stop going off so quickly. Face ID, here we go. Here we go. Why did that take so long? Anytime you go live, everything just stops working correctly. So you can see I've really just got the default apps. One thing I want to show you though is the storage, and this is the one thing I kind of forgot to include in my unboxing video, was the storage, which is under general. I think it's under general. There we go. Have I got this in Zoom? No, I've not got it in Zoom yet. Maybe that should be it. Here we go. So you can see here 13.9 of 128 gigabyte used. So I've added YouTube Studio, and you can see they add about 300 megabytes collectively, but I did remove GarageBand. But you can see it basically uses about 13 gigabytes when you get it. It's not that bad actually, considering, you know, what other operating systems used in the past. About 13 gigabytes for the OS isn't that bad. So that's going to change when I start adding apps and podcasts and take photos and videos, that will quickly go up. I think for most people though, I think 128 gigabytes should be enough. I think so. But yeah, I've really not did a lot with it. It does seem quite good though. If I could do a speed test if you want. This is a BBC website and just showing you, I mean, this is a fast CPU. I mean, just look at how quickly I can kind of navigate everything and, you know, jump between different articles, and it's quick. It's very quick. Very, very quick. And I did notice that right away, that this is quick. What I could do though, I'm sure I downloaded a speed test there. In fact, if I do it in Google, do it there. So on a side topic, on a side note, I'm looking to implement Wi-Fi in the house, better Wi-Fi, put access points around the house. It's not been made a priority at this point simply because I've got my PC hooked up, I've got my consoles hooked up. It's really just phone connections, and you know, it doesn't really matter. You know, a couple of 100 megabits per second is okay. But what I'm going to do, let's do a speed test. So what I'm going to do is we'll do a speed test between the iPhone 12 mini and my Poco. So we'll go to Google and we'll get this sorted. £300 Androids have better cables, yeah. Is it UFS or eMMC for storage? My assumption is UFS. I assume 3.0 or 3.1, but I'll double check that because I don't know. I'm just going to set this up. I think I've not done this yet. This is why I want to do this. I'll get my Raspberry Pi out the way. So let's. That's a good question though. That is a good question. So let's check that out. iPhone 12. If I can type GSM Arena. I love GSM Arena. Fantastic website. I know they're not always accurate, but they're normally on the ball. So storage. Hopefully it's UFS. Where is it? Where is storage? Am I missing this here? Where is storage? Battery, comms, memory. Oh, it says NVMe. So I don't know what particular NVMe it is, but yeah, I mean normally when you see phones like an Android world anyway, it's normally like UFS 3.1 or something, if that's right. Yeah, NVMe. But I don't know what particular one. And this is the, you know, I did a video about this the other week or last week with Apple and their marketing of the M1 chip. I saw David Harry's actually, he's going to buy the Mac Mini to see what it's like. But Apple have this frustrating marketing policy where they don't tell you. So I don't know if anyone's opened this up and checked the actual chip, the NVMe chip that's in there, the hard drive that's in there. I don't know. But it's difficult for anyone, you know, here looking on the website, try to find out information about it. Like on their website, they were doing all that marketing for the M1 chip, saying that it's 25% or 2 times quicker or 5 times quicker than the leading PC chip, without telling you what it is. It's quite frustrating. So anyway, do you want to do a speed test? Let's see what we got here. Right. So I'll switch over to the overhead camera, and Face ID, does it work? There we go. So let's start with the Poco. So again, like I was saying, I don't really have good access points set up in the house yet. So the internet speed isn't that good. The wired connections is good, you know, in the house is good, but the access point that I've got is like 2 floors down. So I'm going to be putting a lot of access points around the house. So these speeds are not representative of the phones. This is just what I'm getting where I am in the house. So we'll start with the Poco F2 Pro. And this is what we're getting. Let's see if we can zoom in a little bit more. So 277.7, 81. Now, bear in mind as well, I am live streaming. So did the live stream go down there? Was the live stream affected there? No. Hopefully the live stream was not affected by me doing a speed test. Hopefully it was not affected. But the final score there with the Poco F2 Pro was 277.7 and 77.9 for upload. That would be a lot quicker down the stairs because it'd be closer to the access point. But let's see what we get. Hopefully it wasn't. That's good. Right, Craig. Thanks, Craig. So that's interesting. Or maybe it's not. Maybe we're going to get about the same speed. So yeah, that's a lot. That's definitely lower. I mean, there's always a little bit of variation when you do these tests, but to me, that's well, the download speed's actually almost identical. It's the upload speed that's a little bit lower. 60.7. I don't know if there's enough between these two to say that one is a clear winner, because it might have just been that, you know, there's always a variant. Whenever you do one of these speed tests, it's like 5 minutes later, it's faster or slower, etc. 60.7. Okay. Download speeds, there doesn't seem to be any difference here. Upload, there does seem to be a tiny bit, but I don't know. So when you do these speed tests, you really do have to do it several times. I really shouldn't be doing this when I'm doing a live stream, because it's just going to affect the stream. How's it going, Craig? Does the 12 mini have Wi-Fi 6? It has AC. Yeah, it does. It's Wi-Fi 6. AC 6N. I'm going to clarify that though, just in case I'm wrong. Yep. In fact, they had it in the iPhone 11. All right. Okay. Yeah, that's good. That's good. So, I thought that would have been a little bit better though. I thought that would have been a little bit better. I can run it again. Let's run it again. Hopefully yeah, that looks better this time. Yeah, I suspect that was just the. I suspect that's just a variation. So yeah, looks identical to the Poco F2 Pro. It's actually a little bit higher than it was before. Or in fact, not anymore. 265. Not too bad. Hi, Tom. Or in fact, Xavier Tom Joseph. Is it? How do you pronounce it? Xavier? Xavier? Apologies if I'm pronouncing that wrong. So the upload speed definitely seems to be slower here. I mean, that's two tests where that's been a little bit slower. I'm going to run this one again. It's the upload speed that, like, the download speed seems almost identical here. The download speed definitely seems identical with, you know, running a few tests. It's a little bit lower this time. But look at the upload speed. I'm interested as to why that is. 77. Yeah, definitely from an uploading point of view, the Poco F2 Pro is consistently better. I think, do we agree on that, guys, or do you want me to do another test? What do you think? I think it does kind of look like download speeds are basically identical, but upload speeds, the iPhone seems to be getting like 55, 60 when this is getting like 75, 80. I will say again, downstairs, if I'm close to my router on the same level, I'm 2 floors above. I've only got one access point just now because I still need to basically drop about 500 to do it. 6.7. It's basically, so if I zoom out a little bit. Oh, here we go. Yes. One for the Apple iPhone. The iPhone's back. So we've got 80.6 there now. For some reason, it doesn't seem to finish the upload test. Right. I would say at this point, it's kind of identical. I would say it's identical. 80.6, that's good. I think the iPhone was just a little bit unlucky a few times there when it came to the testing. I'll zoom out then, I'll show you that. Yeah, it's pretty much identical to the iPhone XS Max. It's about the same size as the... In fact, I'll come out there now. It's about the same size as the iPhone 12 Pro Max, roughly. I'll see if I can do this. Phone. So iPhone 12 Let's see if I can get this set up for you guys. Do that again. Phone arena. Let's do this phone size thing. Looks like your download's about the same size. iPhone 12 mini. And so one way to do it is just quickly show you, it's not the mini I want to compare. We've already got that comparison. iPhone 12 Pro Max and the Poco F2 Pro. So looking at this, the Poco phone is like a millimeter bigger or so. They're almost identical. You can see that 6.33, 6.43, 3.07. I mean, the iPhone's thinner. This is thicker. But from a size point of view, if you're looking at simply from a size point of view, effectively this is the same size as an iPhone 12 Pro Max. Roughly. But yeah, that's effectively a Pro Max size there, and that's the iPhone. That's the iPhone 12 mini. Come on, Face ID. So yes, that's the difference. That's the difference here. Quite a big bit. I mean, it's not like you can actually move between both of these fairly easily as far as size goes. I don't think it's a massive difference. It's just a little bit easier using this because you can do it all with one hand. With this one, you hold it with one hand and do it like that. Sorry, I've been a little bit late with the comments here. That's what always happens. Currently watching this on a 7.2 inch Mate 20X. See, the funny thing is, Mr. Switch, you go back a few years, most of the tablets that came out had a 7-inch screen. I know there's different dimensions, but like the original Google Nexus and all that, and the original Fire tablets were all 7-inch displays. Ultra, I got 282 and 36.3. That's not too bad, Ultra. I must be thinking of the Mi 10 6.4 inch. The Poco is basically double the size. Yeah, effectively, I mean, there's not a massive amount of as far as thickness goes. As far as thickness goes, I don't know, it's the easiest way to show you that, but there's not a huge amount. I mean, the Poco's a little bit thicker, but not by much. Perhaps because I've got the case on this as well, but the case is on that too. Yeah, I mean, build quality wise, I think that the iPhone 12 mini is really nice. I'll show you it without the case on though. So come down again, and I'll get this off. I do think though, I think the magnet on the back of this, I mean, it probably works well with the. I need to get this off. It probably works well with the larger magnets, but with the smaller magnets, this case is not great. Right, I'm going to just do this. This is probably easier way to do it than try to do it on camera. Right, so this is the phone. This is the phone, and seems to get little bits of dust on it very easily. You can see why a lot of people say that this looks peach. It's not just the lights. Hi, Moyad. I'm sorry I'm pronouncing that wrong. Moyad. So there's the phone. It really is thin. It does kind of look peachy, but I don't think it's that bad. This part, the Apple logo seems to be a fingerprint magnet. But yeah. So you can see there, I've got a screen protector on the cameras there, which I put on just because I thought, well, it came with the kit, the screen protector kit, but I think it's a good thing to put on because whenever you set the phone down, it's going to lean on the cameras, so it kind of makes sense to put it on. I realise that, there's also glass on the cameras anyway as far as protecting it, but yeah, it looks industrial but premium at the same time. Yeah, I would agree with that. It's a good summary. Yeah, I used to be the same, Ultra. I used to be the same. I used to look at these phones and it was just the idea of getting a larger phone was just alien to me. I think the first I had a really big phone going back to like 2003 or 4. So before Android and iOS and all that were around, I had this kind of tablet thing, and it was like a phone tablet with a stylus. But this was before proper touchscreens. This was what's the right word for it? Capacitive touchscreen, where you push it and it's like it's like half the screen reacts. So you push it with a stylus. You had to use a stylus to actually use it. I think it was 2004 I had it. It was kind of like a Palm Pilot thing, but that was big. But apart from that, I think the big jump, I remember the biggest jump I went was to the HTC M8. And I remember my friend Jerry had it, and I was looking, I was like, that is huge. That phone is huge. I couldn't get used to that. But then it's like after a week of using it, it just becomes normal. And I'm kind of going the other way now, where it's pretty good just going back to a small phone again. It feels like a luxury just to have a small phone. And this isn't even really a small phone. I honestly had a phone back in the day. It was a Sony Ericsson. It was about that size. Had the worst battery life, but it was really, really cool. Is there anything when I'm here that you guys wanted to show you on the iPhone 12 as far as any feature or any setting or anything like that? Let me know. I still need to get back to using iOS, because it's a very different experience using an operating system as a tablet as it is using it as a phone. So it's my iPad Pro. So I've been using this year. Get that out of the way. So there is a software update, guys. There is a software update. There's always a software update. So install later. This is my oh my god. This is happening all the time. See, even with Android and with iOS, it's just constantly, do you want this? Do you do this? Do notifications? Everything's in your face by default, and then you have to manually say, stop annoying me with these notifications. Anyway, I digress. Hey, see ya. Good to see you. So this is the Apple iPad Pro. So I've been using this year. So it's helped me familiarize myself with iOS, but I've used this in a very limited way. I mean, you can see with the apps that I've got here that I've just been using it as a tablet, really. I've not installed too many things. Mostly use it for browsing. I mostly use it for YouTube, music, hot UK deals down there. I don't really use this for anything productive. I've probably got a few things on there. WWE, Plex, Xbox, speed test. I really don't have much on this. I really don't. But it's because when I use this at night, I use this just to read the news, watch YouTube videos, basically just read and entertain myself, watch something on a Marvel film, Star Wars, or something on Netflix or something. It's really just a consumption device. But it will be different when I use the iPhone, because I'll be installing a lot of apps that I wouldn't install on that. But I'll see. It's gonna be weird for me going back to it. But I think the biggest thing will be seeing what apps are available on both platforms. So I did. I'll try and find this up for you. iOS. So if you can see this, I downloaded this app, Move to iOS. So this helped me move to iOS, as the app suggests. Help me move to iOS. Normally when you do it with Android, it's really easy, as in just download the same apps to the phone. Android to Android is really easy, really, really easy. When I moved to this, I used the Move to iOS app, and I moved over messages and contacts and a few other things. But I didn't move over apps. There was an option for that though. There was an option that said move over apps as well. But I didn't want to do that. But the reason being, I'd end up with like 200, 300 apps here. It's just better for me to go through all this and go, right, I want to download that, I want to download that. Leave the things that aren't relevant, install the things that are relevant. Most of the essential apps that I use are on both platforms, so I don't think it's a problem. I'll be able to install banking apps and different things on that as well. But there's going to be new apps on iOS that I can use as well. And I've saw that, just with my internet my audio interface, etc. There's a lot of apps that are only available on iOS. And I've always found that frustrating. There's certain companies that only design their official app for Apple users, which frustrates me. I think we're at the point, any company out there that develops an app, they have to do it for both platforms. If I scroll up, can I get that to? No. Anyway, without doing too much, my audio interface is there. This is it, dancing around. This is what I've got all my microphones running through. And there is an app for that, but it's only iOS. So I've never, used it. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of apps that I'll be able to use that I can now use because they weren't on Android. My missus loves the iPhone 12 mini, product red also. Yeah, I went with the girly version, see ya. I do like it though. That's the one thing I will say. Some of the colours that come out this year are kind of bizarre as far as the colour options. So if I see if I can get a picture here that shows you all the colours at once. See if we can get this. Shows all the colours. Shows all the colours. I don't know if that's going to be the best one as far as colours go. So this is the iPhone 12 website. You've a product red Apple Watch 6 also. Right. Well, looking at this, I'm kind of bored of black phones simply because I had nothing but black phones for like 10 years. Every phone that came out was only available in black. The kind of yellow and green ones, oh sorry, that's the white. So the green one I don't like. It's just this weird pale green. I don't like it. The blue one's quite nice actually. I do think that's quite nice. The red's nice. The white is kind of boring in a way, but I didn't want to go for white again because if I open this up, I really should change this case actually because it's so horrible and yellow and dirty. But the phone that I've got just now, kind of white, I guess you could say that's white. It's like a white pearly blue. Because I had this already, I thought I'd go for something different. So I opted for the red. I wasn't a fan of the green, Craig, if I'm honest. I thought it kind of, I don't know, it just looks strange. I was actually tempted to go for the white. The reason being, if you look at all the accessories that are available, all the cases and all that, white complements them the best. So if you buy a blue case, it goes with the white the best. If you buy a red case or a yellow case, whatever, it goes with white the best. So I would say white is one of the best options to get, simply because if you put a case on and it's blue or green or whatever, the white will complement it better than the red would. But if you're going to get a clear case, obviously that's a non-issue. Yeah, I think the blue looks good. I don't know, like I'm saying I don't like the green, but if I had to go into a shop, I'd maybe change my opinion. But I might be going into the Apple shop. I might try and go in tomorrow. I think I'm just going to hand this in and get a return. I don't think this is worth the money. And as I said earlier, it exposes your phone at the bottom, which to me is unacceptable. So I don't want to do that. But the main reason for me to go, because I can ship that back, the main reason for me to go into the shop tomorrow is to buy the wireless charger. So I'm going to buy the wireless charger. That is something that it's £40. I know you say it's not worth it, but it's a sort of thing that you can use for. I'll go and get this to show you. So this is what I'm talking about. So this is the MagSafe charger, £39. And again, this is the Apple Premium. If you want to get a Qi wireless charging thing, you can get it cheaper and it will work with it. But to me, £39 isn't too bad because it does work with the phone. It should work with most cases. It should work with most cases. Certainly the 2 cases that I've ordered now do work with this. But £39, I know it's more expensive than what a lot of Qi wireless charging kits are, but you'll get your money back for this. In a year or 2 years' time, if you buy an iPad or you buy another iPhone, it'll probably work with this. And if it doesn't, you'll sell it and you'll probably get £30. So it's an easy purchase. Some other Apple accessories, I'm always like, this is just money down the drain. Got a £12 silicone case from Amazon for a mini. What one did you get, Sia? I've actually ordered 2. I've ordered one from Caseology and one from Spigen. Did my missus get sorted with 3 Mobile? Yes and no. yes and no. Well, she did get sorted. So the people in the shop, in the 3 shop, were great. And they changed their SIM contract from monthly to pay-as-you-go. But they basically charged her 2 extra months, and they only allow her to phone during the week to get her money back. She really should. They charged her 2 months extra, and if it was me, I would be out of general principle phoning up and saying, "Give me my money back," or I'd be lodging a complaint. But she works during the week. She just can't phone up, and I can't do it for her because she needs to be authorised. So for anyone who doesn't know, what Craig was referring to is my wife was with 3 Mobile, and all companies in the UK, all telecom companies in the UK, when you get to the end of your contract after 24 months, they'll move you back down to a pay-as-you-go SIM contract so that you don't pay more for what you've already paid. So your £50 per month contract will go back down to like £10 a month or whatever. But 3 don't do that. 3 don't do that, and they're very sneaky. And she actually tried to downgrade multiple times. She couldn't do it. They weren't answering the phones and all that as well. So I'm always attracted to use 3 simply because the prices are so cheap. But that kind of thing would just make me, I can't use them because of that kind of thing. Does 3 have 5G coverage? Yeah, it does. Yeah. And you can see it there, 5G ready. I mean, look at that, £17 a month, 5G, unlimited calls and texts. So, I mean, that's tempting. That is tempting for me because I've got 300 gigabytes with per month with Virgin, but they're it's 300 gigabytes, but I think it's only 4G. So I don't have 5G yet. So I've bought this just now, but I probably should opt for a 5G contract at one point. So I really should change my contract. I probably should go with O2 because I don't get a great signal in the house with any other network. £16 on Hot UK deals. Nice. Yeah, so I'm probably going to change my contract. I don't want to go with 3. I'll probably keep with Virgin or go with O2 or any kind of O2 network that has 5G. But yeah, Virgin Media doesn't have it. That being said, they will get 5G in like a year or 6 months or something like that. Virgin next year are going to BT though. That's one reason why I was thinking about staying with them, because basically I get no signal with any other network except O2 in this house. Like 1 bar maybe with Virgin and EE, etc. But as soon as I leave the house, full signal. I don't know what's wrong. Like the house is just made of lead or something. Are any of you guys on 5G? I honestly don't think 5G is something I really need. I don't think. Right now anyway. Tinfoil roof. Yeah. Go with my tinfoil hat. I don't know. I still don't know if 5G is something I need. Mainly because, I work from home, as you know. And when I'm away, yes, 5G is good. But, if I visit my mum, she's got Wi-Fi, and I don't know. I think the main reason for me to have 5G would be for me to do YouTube videos on the move. So if I was doing, if I was away somewhere and I wanted to do a live stream or record a video, do it live, etc., 5G would be really good. But I've not had any problems doing that with 4G. So I don't know. What deal have you got just now, Mr. Switch? What kind of contract have you got? So O2, I would say the network's pretty good as far as reliability and signal, etc. But their deals are awful. They're kind of like Vodafone. The prices are always £10, £15 more expensive than they need to be. Like almost double some other companies. Let me see, right. I'm looking down at sorry guys, right, in fact I can show you what I'm looking at. So where is this? Oh, yeah. No, not that. I'm trying to show you what I'm looking at. Can I? In fact, I will do it. Where am I here? So what I was looking at there, guys, see when I'm streaming, and this was something I was checking earlier on. So see when I was doing the speed test earlier, what I was worrying about was in OBS that the signal would change. So it's weird. Sometimes the stream goes wonky when you're doing something like that. So if I change, where is my Samsung monitor? Is this working? Is this working? Yeah. So see this little bit down here, down the bottom, this yellow part here. That was like red earlier. And this is the upload speed. You can see when it goes over 10,000 kilobits per second, it's saying great. When it goes under 7,500, it's going red. But that's what I was looking at there, which is surprising because I should be getting green all the time because I get like 80 megabits per second. That could be because of the router though. The BT router is absolutely awful. It's just terrible. I really need to get a new router soon. Did you pick up a Quest 2 yet? Is that the Oculus? You talking about the Oculus here? £9 per month for 45 gigabyte. That's not too bad, Mr. Switch. That's pretty good. Is that on Hot UK Deals now, Mr. Switch? I need to check that out. The wife will be happy with that. Made her happier than I could. Right, we see Oculus, not Oculus, O2. See if I can find this deal. Is this deal still on? See if I can find that deal. 5 gigabyte, 12 months. No, it's ended. Ah, yeah, I was just looking at there. I could see this one. £10 per month, you Switch. Damn, I'll need to keep an eye out for that. I might have downgraded to that because I really don't use 300. The only time I used 300 was when my Wi-Fi was down. See the Oculus. No, I've not bought it. I don't think I will either, if I'm honest. I played the original Oculus last year. I think it was the original Oculus Quest. My friend came around last summer and he brought it round and it was great. But I just don't have time. I don't have time to play half the games that I've got. And I'm probably going to get the new Xbox, and that's where my money will go. I was debating that though because if I bring that up. No, it's my own fault. I was trying to pay attention to it. Window capture. Oh, updating. Don't start downloading stuff. I see the problem when you do anything during a live stream. You load up an app and it starts downloading all these updates. Right, so if I show you this. So this is the one game that I play on a regular basis and it's Call of Duty. So if I put this here, bring it around here. So this is battle.net. So that's Modern Warfare, obviously Warzone, etc. But I downloaded Cold War last night. So I downloaded that to play it. So that was £47 or something. I was reluctant to actually buy it first because I'm probably going to end up buying it on the Xbox. So I'm going to have to buy it twice. But it means that I can play it on the PC and on the laptop, etc. It's insane. Wireless VR from Steam is amazing. Been keeping fit on it with Creed, Beat Saber, etc. Ah, nice. I need to do that as well. I need to get fit again. I've actually got this massive Muay Thai punch bag, kick bag thing, like a professional one that I got years ago, and it's sitting in the garage waiting for me to bolt it in. But we've got about 30 boxes. We've got wood and brackets everywhere in the garage. But I need to turn it into a gym so that I can train again because I'm not even put on weight. I'm just like flabbier and skinnier and got a man bod right now, a dad bod. So I need to get back into it. But I don't think I would get the VR if I'm honest. Just with everything else going on, I prefer to kind of sit at a desk, and you can get 150 gigabyte for £20 on O2. That's not too bad either. The only thing that's put me off getting that though, Mr. Switch, is one of the reasons I wanted to get an iPhone as well is because this supports Wi-Fi calling. So, and you can actually see that. Can you see it? That's how good the signal is. Wi-Fi call. Obviously, I've got it in airplane mode just now because I'm live, but the Poco F2 Pro, I enabled Wi-Fi calling, and you can see I've got an O2 SIM in it just now, actually. Can you see O2? So that's the pay-as-you-go SIM. I enabled Wi-Fi calling on this one. It just didn't work. I tried everything to get it working, and when you go to the Virgin website, it was saying, you know, Samsung phones, Apple phones work with Wi-Fi calling. So the easiest thing for me to do just now is just use Wi-Fi calling in the house, enable Wi-Fi calling at home, and then the signals are not an issue. Hi, Muzaka. So how's your wife finding the iPhone 12 mini? See as I went completely off topic and stopped talking about the iPhone 12 mini. What I'll do actually, I'll show you the cases I'm getting. So I've got a few cases coming in a few days. She loves it. She's done iPhone 6s before. Right. I said to my wife if she wanted it, but yeah, she's got a Samsung she's happy with. I think she wants one of the Samsung flip phones or just another Samsung. So I've told her to wait until March when the new one comes out. Some kind of speed usage difference there. Oh, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, you can't fault that for speed. So as far as, you know, I've been talking about this case, the official case, right? Completely overpriced, rip-off. One of the reasons I wanted to get this is just from a YouTube review point of view. I wanted to see what the fuss was about and I wanted to test it. It's not worth £49. This is worth £10, £15. That's the reality of it. So I saw this case and I opted for the red, which it's going to be a little bit of a red overload of redness, but I've ordered that one. And I've also ordered the Spigen, I think it's Ultra Hybrid. Hybrid, as I've said. There we go. I've ordered this one as well for the iPhone 12 mini, which is just a clear case. That's the one I've ordered. So I've ordered that as well. So I've got a clear case and I've got a red silicone case coming. And obviously I can only use one case, but I was swaying between, do I get a silicone case, do I get a clear case? The downside to getting a clear case is that over time it gets yellow, it gets grey and dusty, and it just doesn't look nice after a while. They all say they've got anti-yellow whatever in it, but yeah. But that's you touch upon a good point, Sia, as far as speed goes, because that's the one thing that a lot of people forget about is just from a performance point of view, the new iPhones are tremendous, you know, with their A14 chip and the A13 as well. I mean, the last few years, the Bionic chips have just been smashing the Snapdragon chips. And I know it's a game of cat and mouse, you know, the new chip comes out, then that one's faster, etc. But this phone is fast. It's really, really fast. And that's the thing, you know, I think sometimes I'm guilty of this as well, that you get caught up in the numbers game. Apple don't tell you that this phone, this one here, Apple don't tell you that this version, the Mini and the 12, only have 4 gigabytes of memory, and the Pro and the Pro Max have 6, which actually in the Android world isn't that much. This has got 6. I've tried Android phones, I've got 8, and there's Android phones that have got 12 and 16. But this only has 4. And I know it's the early days. I still need to use this with lots of different apps, but I will say so far, you know, jumping around the different apps that are there, it feels snappy, and 4 gigabytes of memory doesn't seem like a problem. And this is the thing, I'm kind of conflicted by this because I hate Apple's marketing. I hate the fact that they're so vague with their marketing terminology and their BS marketing, and they don't tell you anything about the CPU and, you know, with their laptops, etc. And they leave out important information like memory. But it is worth remembering that memory and CPU performance and all that, it doesn't really matter if the operating system isn't efficient. And Apple's operating system, because obviously they design everything around the CPU and all that, it is more efficient than Android. I think most people would agree on that. And it just shows you specs aren't everything. It's all about actually using it. OnePlus Nord 5G, 5 gigabytes of data, 36 months, 28.7 per month. Right, okay. Let's work this out. 28.70. Can I just say though, I will say right off the bat, I'm not a fan of 36-month contracts at all. And I wouldn't encourage anyone else to actually do that either. I think 36-month contracts should be discouraged, simply from the point that after a year, the battery of a phone, it could be like the battery health could be 80%. 2 years, you're getting to the point where the phone becomes unusable because you need to charge it 2 times a day and all that. 3 years is too long. It really is too long, and I really discourage anyone to take on a 3-year contract. This is something that's come out from phone companies, and if they're wanting to tie people into a 3-year contract, they really should make a point of, well, I don't think they would do this, but make a point of ensuring that that phone remains healthy during those 3 years. But I've dealt with phone companies before, I've dealt with phone shops before, and they don't. 36 months is too long. 2 years, fine, 2 years, but at the end of 2 years, your battery life is going to be poor. Doesn't matter if it's Apple, doesn't matter if it's Samsung, whatever, your battery life is going to be, even if you're you're not a power user, you're still going to be about 70-80%. The battery life is going to be down. So looking at this here, from what Ultra said, £28.70 per month, that's £1,033.20 over 36 months. What does the Nord 5G sell at? Does anyone know? Nord 5G. Do I need to do some Googling here? Let's see if we can get this. So we're looking at about 375 roughly. 375. Is that not there? No, it says 470 there. 5G. 374, 379. So let's say 375. So yeah, minus 375. You're talking 658. So that on the 36. Yeah, that's not a good deal. That's a terrible deal, actually. And this is what I encourage you all to do. It's a simple calculation. Take away the value of the phone. Take away, work it out. But that's working out £18 per month for, 5 gigabytes of data. And again, like I showed you with 3, and I'm not saying 3 is a good network because it's not, but you've got companies like that, £17 per month, unlimited data, 5G. You'd be paying £18 per month, effectively, for 5 gigabytes per month. What I'm trying to say here, that's a terrible deal. That's what I'm trying to say. That's a terrible deal. But this is what they do, with these longer term contracts. They tie into these longer term contracts, and when you actually break it down, not all the time, but most of the time, it's not actually that good a deal. So I would definitely be wary of that and work it out and see what you're actually paying, because if you find out what a company sells their 5G, who's it with actually? I don't think you said who it was with, but with 5G, if you work out how much their 5 gigabyte per data month is, it's probably only £10 per month, or maybe even less, maybe 8. So you're paying an extra £8 per month over 36 months. You're paying a huge premium to get this phone on tick, which, yeah, I wouldn't go for it. Personally, I wouldn't. Sorry, I'm delayed with the comments now because I went on a tangent. I love a tangent. Nothing more than, okay, Mr. Switch, nothing more fun than buying case for a new phone. Look at the Rinky Fusion X. Right. See if I can get that. I've already ordered 2 phones, by the way, Mr. Switch, so it's your fault if I end up buying another one. So this is the case that Mr. Switch was talking about. The Rinky Fusion X. I'll see if there's one. iPhone 12 mini. Let's see what we've got here. Oh, okay, there's one there. It looks like it kind of looks like a Spigen or a Tough Armor, or what's that one? Is it UAG Armor or something? Kind of looks like that. Yeah, it's a tough wee. I mean, it's a good price, a very good price. It's this is the thing though. I mean, I don't know. What's your thoughts, guys? What's your thoughts on these kind of Tough Armor type of cases? There's a part of me that always wants to get one of these cases simply because you're spending, I mean, especially when you spend 800, a grand on a phone, that is, whether you admit it or not, it's kind of an investment as such, as far as if you want to protect your investment, you want to resell it a year later, 2 years later, you want to look after the phone. And that's why sometimes it pays to use one of those tough cases. But what that means is throughout the whole time you use that phone, you'll have it in a big, thick, rubbery case. I don't know. I mean, I know a lot of reviewers use a phone naked, but I still like putting a phone in a case and keeping it good. I don't know. It's try to find that happy medium between not being too bulky, but still having some protection. 16 gigabyte RAM on a phone is overkill. Even 12 is still overkill. I can't think of a reason to have that much memory in a phone at this time anyway. It would probably just burn more battery life than anything else. 24 months is too long in SIM only. Yeah, I think the one I had originally with Virgin was 12 months, and I've just continued it. I had my 8 Plus since new 2017, says it has 85% battery health left. Really? What are you using to measure that, Sia? Are you using the battery doctor or something? I'm surprised by that because I've had phones the last few years, and after a year, it's been like 75, 80%. You know, it said like 3,000 milliamp battery, and it said effectively it's like 2,200, 2,300 now. Sorry now, correction. Where they are. Okay, thanks for putting the prices, Mr. Switch. I was a little bit late with those. I found them myself. The cheapest 5G phone is the Moto 5G Plus at £300. Guessing I'll go on deal for £200 on Black Friday. It was this O2. Yeah, that makes more sense because O2 are expensive. Settings, battery health, iOS. How... No, I'm sorry, I'm not talking about... Are you talking about your... You know what? Sorry, I completely misread that, Sia. I thought your comment was OnePlus 8. I read that completely wrong. So you've had an Apple iPhone 8 Plus since 2017, right? How reliable is that, by the way? Like, not to be an Apple hater, but they have been caught with their pants down a few times over the years. And the last one, they got caught manipulating battery health and completely lying about all of it, and they got took to court, and they had to offer everyone free battery upgrades. Pretty accurate these days. I mean, what I'd be interested to do if I got an Apple iPhone was install a third-party battery app. Now, the reason I'm saying that is when I bought this Apple iPad this year, I checked the battery health and it was officially at like 90% or so, but I used an external app thing to test that. And what the important thing to note though is, I only found this out when I got the iPad Pro secondhand. When you buy, these iPad Pros in particular, the batteries, they're designed to degrade over time. It's just how they work. But I think it was like estimated between 5 to 10% per year. And the one that I had was 2 years old, but it hardly been used, so it was only at 90%, 91%. But what they did say was when that battery got down to like 80%, it's practically unusable as far as it won't boot up and it'll start discharging too quickly and all that. So 80% doesn't just mean, certainly in the Apple world, it doesn't just mean that you've got 80% left. It gets to a certain point and the battery is unusable. Maybe I need to read about this again. I read about this a lot when I bought my iPad Pro, and I did a video about it, and I kind of talked about it because I downloaded the app on my Windows computer and connected the iPad, and I checked the health of the battery. But basically, it was under 80%. It becomes almost unusable, and you need to replace the battery. I don't know if that's the same with Apple iPhones though, but yeah, just be aware when you get down to the kind of 60, 70, 80% things, phones just don't work the way they should. Rhino Shield is the best tough phone case. I'll check that out. Ah, right, you got the iPhone 6s battery replaced for free by Apple. I find like Apple's it's a strange company as far as the loyalty that they have from their users. I have like through YouTube, I've been called an Apple fanboy because I did a video about Apple, and then I've been called an Android fanboy because I pointed out that Apple stuff is expensive. And I think it's always dangerous for anyone to have loyalty to any brand, forgetting YouTube and all that, just anyone to be loyal to the point where you don't even realize, you don't even appreciate how much a company's screwing you over. Like I saw this on YouTube, when that whole scandal came out, there was actually YouTubers out there and others that commented that defended Apple. They actually defended Apple for what they did. Apple lied to their customers for years, continually lied to their customers for years. And they were trying to say, oh, you know, they did it for us. And it's like, stop being a sheep. They screwed you over. Now, I'm not saying that because Apple, you know, it's not like Samsung or any other company is better. All these companies behind the scenes, they're scumbags as far as drive for profits, etc. But you do need to have your wits about you and look at, no worries, Mr. Switch, good to speak to you again. I'll speak to you soon. I'll pay attention to your deals this time in case I miss it. Yeah, I think you do have to. I think you do have to be aware of what companies are doing and all that. It's like Google is. I've got a similar relationship with Google. It's a love-hate relationship with Google where I rely on Gmail, I rely on YouTube, I rely on these other services, but also Google are bastards when it comes to, well, just certain things. You know, their terms and conditions and just their policies. One of the biggest things I hate about Google is that they keep snapping up smaller companies because Google want to have their hands in everything. You know, they want to have their finger in all the pies. And I don't know if that's the right term, but Google have got a habit of buying up smaller companies and they'll give it a try and say, right, let's do this. But what frequently happens is those people get jobs in Google for a year or two and then they leave. But then that product, that service, or that product or that hardware just gets dropped and it stops being supported. And it's really frustrating because sometimes those companies would have went on and, you know, did well on their own. Type this in your phone. Right, see if I can do that. Apparently shows your battery health. Is this going to make my phone blow up, Ultra? My phone going to blow up live on air? Hopefully not. Right, see if I can do this right. ### 4636 ###. Invalid. I'm getting this. Invalid. I think that's because, is that not a carrier thing? No, I've tried it. It doesn't work. I really should have Googled that to make sure you weren't screwing with me there. I've had that before. See, you will know this. When I used to do videos on cryptocurrency, you really had to be careful because there's obviously people there that are good people that watch your channel, but cryptocurrency attracts a lot of mischievous people as well, and they would always try and get you to try and do something to reveal your IP address live on air and all that. They say, oh, visit this page, click on this link, and then you're like, what the fuck? This is why you had to use a VPN. Yeah. No, I did something similar to that, Ultra, recently where I did something similar to that where I had to, when I tried to do the Wi-Fi calling, it was like a code like that. There's a whole list of different codes you can put into your phone that do different things. But yeah, thankfully I didn't break my phone there. Do I still have my fingers in my pie? I don't have any Bitcoin at the moment. I still have Safecoin here. I still have Safecoin, and I don't see myself selling that. I still think it's a great project, but I probably should be keeping my fingers in the pie. Again, I'm using that term again. The thing is, I do. So for those of you who don't know, I've got another YouTube channel. I've tried to switch it and talk more about business and stuff, but I used to focus on cryptocurrency. But the problem is, there's a lot of problems involved in cryptocurrency as far as actually talking about it. YouTube were banning videos with it. They were, deleting channels, but not just that. From my point of view, it was murder to even try and manage the channel because I can't show you just now because I'm live streaming, obviously, and I'm logged into this account. But my other account, the cryptocurrency channel, the amount of spam that I receive in that channel is ridiculous. So I have to manage every single comment and manually approve it, and it's an absolute headache. It takes a lot of time, but the amount of spam in cryptocurrency is, I would say if I received 100 comments, there's probably 20 positive, 20 good guys like yourself, but 20 legitimate comments where someone wants to talk about what you said. Then there's like 30 hate comments, like racist or just abusive or whatever. Not even racist, like sometimes I'll get anti-Scottish stuff, oh, you Scottish wanker and all that. But a lot of the time I'll just be racist about another race or another religion or whatever, despite the fact I'm neither of those things. They'll talk about whatever. But then the rest of the comments are just spam and malware and all that. And it became a headache to manage it. It really did become a headache, see ya. And even now, despite the fact I'm not doing cryptocurrency videos, it still makes it a headache to manage that, and I have to manually approve everyone who posts a comment. Yeah, it did put me off. I tried to not let it get me down. Not get me down, that's the wrong term, but I tried to not let it annoy me or frustrate me, but it does eat into your bottom line because it takes so much more time to actually manage the channel. And I don't know, I also didn't like the fact that there's a lot of other bad YouTubers in the cryptocurrency field as well. And that sometimes I got grouped into those people as well, which I didn't like either. Concurrent viewers, why did that just drop down to 0? Anyway, I'm going off topic again, but yes. I found that frustrating as well. But there's definitely a lot of people, and definitely a lot of people who call themselves influencers who are just scumbags behind the scenes, accepting payments to talk positively about projects and all that. I don't have time for that, and frequently because those people were doing it, they would say that I was doing it and I wasn't, and I was like, you know what, it doesn't matter, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. So I found that frustrating. I've had to switch watching you on iPhone. I'm using a non-Apple charging cable, so taking ages to charge. What phone is it you've got again, Craig? I saw something about that, see ya, about the exit scam. Yeah, and that's the problem with that. I did find all that it became frustrating. Yeah, I did find that frustrating. The other thing I found frustrating was I always tried to make sure everyone was protected. So a lot of my videos were geared towards protecting people's investments, don't fall for scams and all that. And yet whenever I would do it, I said, I'm not going to talk to these projects if they're not visible. I hate all this. I believe in, people being anonymous, but you can't expect people to invest in projects if you don't know who they are and if these people can have exit scams so easily. And then I got abuse for that as well. people didn't like me there, I think. You were watching an iPad 2017. The cable that I've got from iPad Pro is a cheap lightning cable. It doesn't charge too quickly. I probably should invest in a better one now. As I said though, the official iPhone cables are just ridiculous. I think Amazon do good ones though. Amazon do good lightning cables, so I might do that later. I might just pick up a couple of cheap lightning cables to fire about the house. I can't stand crypto. It's like fake money to me. I don't want to debate that too much, but I disagree. I mean, the fact that you're saying that in a time when governments have been printing trillions of dollars and pounds and whatever, just printing it from thin air, just printed the money from thin air, or not even printed it, just added zeros onto it. All money's fake, really, if you know, when it comes down to it. But that's a different debate. Me and Sia could debate you that all day. Anyway, guys, let's go back on track and talk about phones. Right. Is there anything else you want to see about the Apple iPhone 12 mini? Or would you like to talk about something else before I shoot off? I want the iPad Pro, but not sure how much I can justify just to watch YouTube, Netflix, and hot UK deals. That's basically, yeah, that's exactly what I use it for as well. But I bought this second hand. It was like 800 at release. I got it for about, was it 320 or something like that? 320. Yeah, I think it was about 320. What I would say about that, it is a big investment, Craig, as far as spending that money. Good suggestion, Ultra. I'll do that in a second. It is a big investment spending that on a tablet, because if you're just going to be browsing the web and all that. That being said, what I would say is I've used crappy tablets. And one of the things, you know, there's a few things that are good about this. One is the quad speakers are excellent. The speakers on this are excellent. Certainly when compared to mono or dual speakers, the quad speakers on this are excellent. The webcams are really good on it as well. Better on it as well. Not great in low light. And the microphone's good on it as well. So if you're doing Skype conferences or just webcam chat with your friends and things like that, it's good for that as well. I think in the tablet world, if you just want to browse the web, any tablet will do. But if you want to spend a little bit extra money, you'll get a little bit better performance. You'll get higher pixel density. You'll get better webcams. You'll get better speakers. That's really what you're paying for. Yeah, they are cheap for a reason, I agree. You've had the iPad Pro 12.9 2008 one is a beast. Yeah, I think it's a 17 I've got. To be honest, for what I do, it's great. I mean, as far as the iPad, in fact, I'll download this now before I go on a tangent again. That's what live streams are for, they're tangents. So what's the best one for iPhone as far as benchmarks? Do you think Geekbench? What's the other one? Cinemark? Geekbench, Antutu. What is that? Is this another thing? They always charge you for apps on this when they're free on Android. I'll get this one. I think Cinebench is one as well, isn't it? Yeah, Geekbench. Yeah, they want £1 for, like, I'm happy to pay £1 if I use it a lot, but it's like for 1 second on a live stream, it's pointless. Although, in saying that, I'll probably end up buying it if I'm doing the review of this so that I can show you what it's all about. I can't see Cinebench. Oh, 3D Mark. That's the one I was looking for, 3D Mark. That's the one I want. I'll download a few of these and we'll see what it's... Yeah, there's a few different ones there. Why would they need, like, it says the benchmark needs my location. They don't need my location for a benchmark. No, you don't need my... Why would an app need my location for a benchmark? That's absolute bullshit. Excuse my French. Right, so I've got this. Yeah, I could Google the result, but of course it was more about doing it live to see what happens. So this is what's happening just now. Doing a benchmark. Shows you the graphics, they're pretty cool. I'll need to download some games and all that to play it. Anyway, with regards, what were we talking about there? The iPad, yeah. So what I was going to say was, I kind of could, I guess in theory, I could justify buying the latest iPad. And I've seen a lot of people doing this online, a lot of YouTubers. I'm not singling out YouTubers, but a lot of people will buy the latest iPad Pro and they say, you don't need a PC, you don't need this, you don't need that. All you need is an iPad. The iPad Pro can do everything, which is ridiculous because an iPad Pro, yes, it's powerful. Yes, it's great for games, and yes, you can use it to edit videos. And you'll see a lot of people, putting up all these different setups where they've got a keyboard like this and they set it up and up, which is fine. But you're still not going to replace a PC. You're still not going to replace a fully functioning computer that can do almost anything. You're still working within the limitations of a tablet. I think it's going to be a while before we get to the point where the iPad Pro is a computer. Technically, though, it could be. If they allowed you to put Mac OS onto the iPad Pro, then it would be a computer, and that argument would be away. But yeah, you see a lot of people saying, "Oh, you can use iOS to do everything. You can use, use the iPad Pro to do editing and do this and do that." And then they've got this Frankenstein setup with all these different accessories. You need this cable to connect a monitor. You need this cable to do this. You need this cable, and it's just buy a laptop at that point or buy a computer. It's kind of pointless. Anyway, rant over. I should really put this back in its case, look after it. Oh, it's now, I'll really put this silent on. It's playing music. Yeah, I mean, I was reading about this. See, I did a kind of complaint rant video about the new M1 chip because of their marketing, but it does look good. It does look good as far as what it can do. I think it's not as powerful as they're making it out. The CPU isn't as powerful as they're making it out, because they kept saying we're 2 times as fast as the latest CPU, and then they're quoting not a mid-range, but a ULV CPU from 2019, like summer 2019, and they're saying we're faster than the latest PC chip. Well, that's a chip from a year and a half ago, and it wasn't the best chip on the market. It's just BS marketing. I don't like the way that they're kind of marketing that chip. I'd rather look at legitimate benchmarks, but from what I've seen, the benchmarks are positive. The biggest thing about all that, it's just misleading. It's just the whole Apple thing, and I think it's because a lot of people who buy Apple products don't need to buy Apple products. But yeah, it does look good. The biggest thing about that is that they've got powerful laptops and they've got great battery life. So that is, what have I got around me? I've got, let's see if I can get this. This is my gaming laptop. Now, this laptop is still running away, by the way. This is a gaming laptop. It's got a 2080 in it, and it's got an 8750H. Now, that's an Intel laptop chip from summer 2018. Summer 2018. Now, let's see. Alienware, yes. Like Sheldon from... Well, you say it's not very portable. It's not designed to be honest. It's designed to be a powerful computer that you can still put in a backpack or something, and it does do that job. The thing is, though, guys, I think a lot of people look at Apple computers and they think that they can do everything, but Apple are quite misleading as to what they do with the laptops, as far as how they market different things and all that, and they're really not upfront with that, and a lot of people misinterpret what they can do and what they can't do. This is big. This has got a 2080 graphics card in it, which you will know, it probably performs about 80% of what a 1080 Ti can do, probably, like a full-size desktop GPU. So this, from a gaming point of view, I can run COD, Call of Duty on this. I can do 1080p at 144 frames per second. It's actually got a 4K screen. I can do 4K at 60 on this, in fact, about 4K 40. Can do 1440p at about 80, 100 frames per second. So it's not portable, but this is more powerful than, say, a PlayStation 4. This is more powerful than an Xbox One. In fact, this will rival probably the Xbox Series X at this point. So it's a powerful machine. It's not, I know you're looking at it and think it's just a laptop, but it's a gaming machine. It's a video editing machine that can do a lot. But the reason I'm pointing this out is this has got an 8750H, which was the main, it's a hexa-core, I think, CPU from, this is still doing stuff, by the way, in the background. It's got a hexa-core CPU, and it's from the summer of 2018, and that was pretty much the most popular Intel chip at the time. It was an i7, wasn't the most powerful one. There was i9s and all that out at the time, but it was the most common one 2 years ago, replaced by the 9750H, and then replaced by the 107050H. But this chip is about a year and a half old at this point, and the chip that they said, Apple, in their Apple M1 marketing, they said we are 25% faster or 2 times as fast as, and what was it, an i7 ULV chip. But that chip is a year and a half old, and that chip is slower than this one. So this is probably marginally slower than the new M1 chip, my guess. I need to look at benchmarks. I don't know what the difference is. But the point is, the performance from the new M1 chip, a lot of people are getting misled as to what it can do, what it can't do. For me, the M1 chip is excellent because it's efficient. You can get 20 hours of battery life. What are you going to get from this? 2.5 hours? You know, this is a big beast, as you can see. But yeah, so I think the M1 chip is a good chip. I think it looks like it's going to be good. But I think a lot of people are getting misled by Apple as to what it can do and what it can't do. So don't rely on Apple's marketing. Look at the benchmarks, look at the reviews, and see the comparisons between other laptop chips to see what it can actually do. And again, I've said this many times, but just check out the reviews, because Apple are very... Again, this is why I hate when someone calls me an Apple fanboy and an Android fanboy, because it's important to be critical about all these companies. A lot of people who are Apple enthusiasts just rely on Apple marketing. So for example, Apple were putting i9 chips into their MacBook Pros, but they were throttling them so much, like 70-80%. So you could have an i9 in this one and it would outperform the MacBook Pro any day of the week because they were throttling it. I can't even talk. Throttling the CPU. Now, that's not always a bad thing. It's not always a bad thing because this thing is like an airplane taking off sometimes. It's so noisy. And the reason Apple are popular with the MacBook Pro is they reduce the CPU so much so that it doesn't overheat. So they have to throttle the i9 so that the fans don't go crazy. Now, this is going to be less of an issue with the M1, but I guess what I'm trying to say is just don't rely on Apple's spec sheet or the marketing BS. Check out the reviews to see what they can actually do. The M1 does look like a good chip. And, you know, I've got a couple of laptops that I use. I've got this laptop and a Dell XPS 13, but I would sell them. If this M1 chip is as good as Apple say, I would sell these to get one of those. Maybe go with an eGPU setup. As far as Black Ops go, have I got that? So, what C is asking about is Black Ops. You can see I've got it installed. Yeah, I played it last night. And yeah, it's good. I'd played the beta when it came out a month or two ago, and it's good. Yeah, it's good. It's a little bit different to how Modern Warfare and Warzone plays. It is good. I've not played the campaign yet. I played the zombies mode with my friends and we kind of leveled up. I think I leveled up from like 1 to 16 or something. So I'm just getting used to it. But yeah, it's good. I mean, it's buggy as hell just now. This is the problem with all these games. It's buggy as hell because, you know, last night we stopped playing at the end because we just couldn't get into our party together and we couldn't play the game together because it was so buggy as far as party and joining up as groups and all that go. But esport titles like Fortnite, yeah, it's good for that. I mean, this is like a year. This is nearly 2 years old now. This laptop, as far as I got it a year ago, and it was a year old at the time. As there is as many cheaters as Modern Warfare, probably. Let's be honest. Yeah, probably. Yeah, it's something they don't seem to be able to handle. Yeah, I play with the Xbox controller there. I used to play in keyboard. When I played Counter-Strike, I used to play with the keyboard. Anyway, back to the iPhone 12 mini. I don't even know what do these scores mean. I don't know. I don't know if that's a legitimate app that I've downloaded. I think I'm going to, that's the Antutu benchmark. But I'm going to just remove that. I really didn't like the fact that app asked for my location for doing a benchmark. That is a major flag. That is a major flag. So I'm going to delete that app. But yeah, you're right. Just check the benchmarks. I don't need to show people that. Yeah, I mean, I think what C is talking about is you play these first-person shooting games. That's my impression of a guy with a gun. They've all got problems with people hacking them. and cheating. And if you look online, there's a lot of people streaming Warzone, and you'll see in a lot of these streams, you'll see there's always people that are hacking and cheating. And I think when people die in a game like this, in any kind of first-person shooter, your automatic reaction is that guy must be cheating, because you see the replay and it doesn't look good. But there's definitely cheaters out there, and we've came across them a few times where we're like, basically, we looked at the replay and the guy, well, one-shotted a guy in the distance, turned around, one-shotted, turned around, one-shotted. I don't care if you're the best Call of Duty player in the world. What that guy did was impossible. And there is guys that do that, and I don't see what enjoyment they get from it. But they are out there. I can maybe I've got a gaming channel, guys. So I need to put well, I've already got it because I downloaded the beta on this. But I'm maybe going to play Cold War on this in a couple of days if I get time. I'll try and do a live stream on my gaming channel and play Black Ops. Just play an hour or so. So if you want to see it, or anyone else, I'll subscribe to my gaming channel. I'll be listed somewhere. Yeah, I'll try and play. And this is basically when I stream online and I play a PC game. This is what I use. I play on this, but I hook it to my monitor here, and it all goes through my game capture card. Yeah, I'll play that. See, I'll play some Black Ops. These hackers make aimbot etc. so quick. Yeah, it's frustrating though, Ultra. It is frustrating. But yeah, I've kind of moved all my gaming stuff over to that channel now rather than this channel, just because this one's focusing more on computing, etc. But I do need to install it on that. Black Ops 2 is the best COD game. I still think Modern Warfare 2 is one of my favourites. And the original Modern Warfare as well. But they're all good. They're all good. I mean, that's the game I kind of gravitate towards playing. I'd like to get into the habit of playing games more often, but I've got a lot of interest. That's why I've got 3 different channels, because I jump around talking about phones and computers and different things. So, guys, I'm going to tie it up soon. Tomorrow, I recorded this earlier today, actually, but tomorrow I will have a video about the Raspberry Pi 400, because I did a quick video showing how to overclock it, so that will be tomorrow. But I will be doing more videos about the Apple iPhone in the future. The next couple of days, I'll probably pick up the MagSafe. I'm going to get 2 cases for that. And then I need to actually go out and start doing some videos with this, because I want to just walk around, take some videos with this and see what it's like. I don't know what the mics are like yet. I've actually not checked out too many videos about that, so I need to do some videos about that to see what this can do, because that was the main reason for me to buy this, to as a vlogging point of view. For me, it'd be good for me to do some videos on my channels just from this. I'm just going to buy a little mic and I'll plug it into this and do some videos, and it makes it easier for me to do videos. Medal of Honor, I can't talk today, I'm so dehydrated. Allied Assault. Yeah, guys, so I do have more videos coming about the Apple iPhone 12 mini, about the cases, the MagSafe, etc. But I try not to do too many videos at the one time about one thing, because it just, it'll alienate some people. Is my first 5G phone? No, this is 5G as well. Although I had a 4G SIM in it, but that's actually a 5G phone. Does it say it anywhere? I don't know if it says it anywhere, but it is. In fact, I can show you if I go into the settings area. Preferred network type. So this is the Poco phone, and you can see when you go in there, you can see 3G LTE, which is 4G or 5G. So technically, I think that's my first. What phone did I have before this? I had the Huawei P30, and that was 4G. So yeah, this is my second. It's my second one. I mean, 5G's been about in Android world for about a year and a half, 2 years now. But anyway, guys, I've completely went off topic on the iPhone 12 mini for about an hour now. So it's been good catching up with you guys, though. I really do appreciate it. Thanks for everyone tuning in. I will try and do a stream about Black Ops over the next few days and give it a try. Try and play some games. I need to test that setup again and get it all set up correctly. Yeah, and get all that set up properly. That's what I need to do. I need to get the green screen and all that as well. But yeah, I'll do that again soon. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. It's good to catch up with you. See ya, Ultra, Craig, Mr. Switch, everyone who tuned in, everyone who commented. I do appreciate it, guys. And stay tuned. I do like this case. I hate the exposed part at the bottom, so I'm going to replace it. I've ordered a few other cases. I'm going to test MagSafe. I'll do some other Apple videos, but if there's anything you want me to test, stay tuned. But things like what you were saying, Ultra, like do the benchmarks and all that, I think what Sia said that, I think what he's saying is right. Just check these benchmarks online. And I think whenever I do YouTube videos, it's good for me to test certain things myself, as far as go out and test the video, test the mics, test it, all that kind of stuff. But for certain things like benchmarks and all that, there's so many other people doing that. It's just easier for me to just say, check out this page, check out this website, rather than me going through this whole process as well. But anyway, thanks guys. Take care. Speak to you soon. I hope you're all doing well, and I appreciate you all tuning in. But until next time, guys, take care.